Israel launched a massive air offensive inside Iran early Saturday, dubbing it Operation Rising Lion, targeting over 100 strategic nuclear and military sites. More than 200 fighter jets participated, striking key locations including nuclear enrichment facilities like Natanz and bases linked to Iran's Revolutionary Guard. Among the high-value targets was Tehran's Revolutionary Guard headquarters, where top commanders, including the IRGC chief and armed forces leader, were reportedly killed. Iran acknowledges at least 78 military and civilian deaths from the Israeli strikes and more than 320 individuals injured across multiple locations. In retaliation, Iran fired dozens of ballistic missiles and drones toward Israel, killing 3 civilians and wounding over 100 others. Air raid sirens blared across Tehran, Tel Aviv, and Jerusalem, signaling an escalation that prompted emergency measures and heightened military readiness. Jordan and Iraq intercepted some Iranian drones and missiles, warning of possible spillover and urging their armed forces to defend airspace. Qatar Airways and other carriers suspended flights to Iran and Iraq, citing security concerns in an uncertain and dangerous regional environment. Global markets reacted sharply. Oil prices surged and stock futures dropped as financial investors feared further instability in the broader Middle East. The United States officially denied involvement in the strike, although Washington expressed support for Israel's right to self-defense in the conflict. President Trump described the attack as excellent, confirming awareness of the operation but declined to detail any further American participation. Turkey condemned the strike, warning that the attacks could ignite wider war and called for diplomatic restraint to prevent regional collapse. Experts emphasize this is the most intense direct military exchange between Israel and Iran since the 1980s Iran-Iraq War. The targeting of Iran's nuclear infrastructure marks a major escalation, deepening fears that nuclear diplomacy may now be off the table. International leaders have issued urgent calls for restraint, warning that further retaliation may trigger a broader, more deadly regional conflagration. Israel remains defiant, saying the military campaign aims to neutralize nuclear threats and will continue while Iranian aggression persists. Iran's leaders have vowed severe punishment, promising strong military response to Israeli strikes and threats targeting senior officials. Public protests erupted in Tehran and other Iranian cities, where citizens fear a full-scale Israeli invasion or repeated bombing raids. Regional airspace remains unstable, with flight cancellations and travel advisories reflecting heightened risk across the Middle East and neighboring areas. Military analysts warn the conflict may widen, drawing in allied groups in Lebanon, Syria, and potentially targeting forces in Iraq and Yemen. The coming days may determine whether diplomacy can de-escalate violence or if both nations entrench into a prolonged and devastating regional war.